Hey everybody, Travis Holzem with Food Forest Abundance, Minnesota. And today I'm out in Norwood, Young America, and since I'm at the portion of the drip line irrigation system where I'm connecting it to the water source. So I'm going to turn the camera around and show you step by step how to hook up the dig irrigation system to your hose. I will be adding timers to these, but I need to just put them all on each 4 of these spigots and test the lines, just make sure everything works before I hook the timers up on them. But I will set the camera down and you can follow along, and I'll show you what pieces go to what, and I'll show you an optional piece that you can add into these also. But in the bottom, or the description below this video, you will be able to see all the pieces of these systems and all the different parts. So you can either buy a kit that comes with a bunch of all the parts you need for, say a raised bed system, or just a garden irrigation system, or you could just buy it by the hose, by the foot, by the roll, and buy all the tools, and then buy all the connectors and stuff separate depending on your situation. But they're pretty easy to work with, and I think the installation that I'm doing is not your typical installation. Normally you might have 1 or 2 garden beds, or maybe just say 20 or 40 foot garden, 40 by 10 feet, and you're going to run a couple drip lines. This one's completely not typical, where you got 24 raised beds in a 100 foot by 40 foot area. So it's just a special project, and I'm glad I got to do it. And here I'm going to show you. Here we go. I'm going to turn you around, and here's the spigots here. Okay, let me back you up with this. Here we go. All right, we're going to put the backflow preventer on first. We'll put that on. Okay, and then you put your pressure regulator on next. So you're going to connect that. Okay, and then tighten them up. And this is an alternate optional piece. It's a filter, inline filter that you can connect. So basically you would connect that here. I'm sure it'd go on the bottom. So put that on, and then you take your adapter, and here's your hose. Your hose is going to go right in here. I'll show you here. Sometimes they're hard to get started, but once you get them started, and keep pushing on these, sometimes you'll hear a click when they get down to when they seat in properly. Otherwise, you just keep pushing them in until you can't push them in anymore. Okay, I think we might have that on there. So, and then this would connect to this filter here. Let's take the filter off. So now we have our hose connected. Make sure it's in there tight. Yeah. All right, so now we're going to connect our hose. And that's number 1. Okay, now I take this 1/2 inch line here, and I will be running it to that first row of beds there. You can see, I'll take you over there. we're going to run this hose through the fence here. It's going to go through the bottom of the fence, and then we're going to pin it down with landscape staples, and then we're going to connect it to that hose right there, and then that line will be connected. And then there's only 3 more to go, and as you can see, I have extra hose on the end of each of these so they can get me through the fence, and then I can just splice into them with whatever amount of hose I need. And this PVC pipe here is just an idea I came up with. I have a hard time getting to sleep at night because I'm thinking about what I have to do the next day, and my mind is always going. So when I was trying to get to sleep, I was just going to bury this 1/2-inch hose. I was just going to dig a small trench a few inches below. Goddamn bee, get away from me. And then just bury the hose. But then this is a main, little bees, you know, this is a main area, going to be going back and forth over this a lot. So I wanted a stronger solution. So I decided, why not get a piece of PVC pipe, which this one's 1 1/4 inches, and the hoses are 1/2 inch. So there will be a little bit of clearance, but I will be able to run both hoses underneath the ground here, and then attached to each of the hoses that go to those beds over there. And yeah, that's about it. And I expect to be testing. I'm not going to bury the hose right now until after I test the system. And then once everything works, then I will bury the hoses and connect the timers and test the timers, and then it's go time for this. And then basically I have to weed all of these beds, and then I'm going to weed whack around the outer edge of the fence, and I'm going to chop and drop all of these summer weeds. You know, that's what people would call them, weeds, but obviously they all have their own special reason for growing, where they grow and how they grow. But a lot of them are good for the soil if you just chop them and let them go back into the soil. And this area here was, okay, I'm going to show you what I just cut down. Around this pear tree right here, there was weeds this high, just like it is right here. So I weed whacked this whole area. I wanted it so I can get at, because I'm going to be working along the fence to bury the hose for this raised bed. And then this was pretty weedy over here, and then my weed whacker, as you can see, I have no string left in there, so I got out. This thing is awesome. Where'd I put it? You got to get one of these. I'll see if I can find a link to it and put it in the description of this video. It's a badass machete called Bare Bones, and I just whacked all this stuff down, and it went through it like a hot knife through butter, and made it pretty quick. But tomorrow I'll have a new string, new trimmer line for the weed whacker, and then I'm gonna do the whole outside. Then I'm gonna get a drone pilot out here to get some nice footage of the property out here, and then wait until you see the before and after pictures of this property and this area especially. Oh man, you're not going to believe it. I'm so proud of this. and so happy I got to do this project, and I get to put my name on it, you know. And hey, Food Forest Abundance Minnesota did this. Travis Holzem did this. You know, I do a lot of my own work because I have to. I'm not as lucky as my partner down in Florida, where he's got all the investment capital to work with, so he can just do videos all day and go network and sell, you know. But I work for a living, and that's what I gotta do. So you'll see me working at every one of these projects and put my own personal stamp on each one. So I don't know, that's that. Anyway, I will, anyway, that's how you hook up the dig lines, which is simple. When I hook the timer up, I'll show you how to do that too, and I'll link to the timer. And that's not the dig brand, it's actually called Ratio, and it's a separate timer, and I'll do a video for that once I hook it up. So hoping to here in about the next half hour I'll have all these lines hooked up, and then turn them on and start running the water through them and see what happens. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed I don't have any leaks, and there's so many connections and so many fittings I had to put in to the hose for this project that I don't know how there's going to be 100% perfection right away, but maybe I'll get lucky. I was extra careful to make sure everything's sealed up properly, so like I said, maybe I'll get lucky. But I will be back with a video later today. Grow food, not lawns, my friends. Talk to you later.